We want to talk about the exciting world of stablecoins. The stablecoin ecosystem now is over $200 billion in assets. In 2025, do you expect this to continue and the fast rise of stablecoins to continue?
Oh, definitely I do. We see the current trends. We see what's in the news. And of course, we see the new president now looking at the stablecoin for himself. But there's a lot of serious players out there projecting that stablecoins is going to fivefold within the next 5 years. So just by that organic growth, we'll get to $1 billion right now it's 200 billion, but we'll get to 300-400 billion within the next year or two.
So Vincent, we have seen increased appetite from institutional investors overall to all kind of crypto assets. In your opinion, what is driving this increased appetite, and what kind of barriers do you see in 2025 that they need to overcome?
Well, I think with the current executive order from Donald Trump, I think there's a lot of more sentiment for being bullish. Institutionals feel more comfortable coming into the space. Of course, there's always the regulation, and we see now, I think that regulation is not only policing the industry, but allowing the innovation of the crypto industry to grow. And of course, with that, now with the confidence, banks are getting in more, VCs, different type of family offices are now entering the space. And, it's great for the industry.
And what about, Vincent, obviously there's been a lot of talk about yield-bearing stablecoins. Obviously now everybody is using stablecoins, and it's good for stablecoin issuers. And many of you are using stablecoins as collateral on different exchanges. Do you think the rise of yield-bearing stablecoins can challenge traditional stablecoin issuers, including FTUSD?
I think they have a very different role. Of course, yield-bearing stablecoins is subject to very strict regulation as it is a security token. So we have to really consider the fact that yield stablecoin is, you need to be properly licensed in different jurisdictions to be able to release that to the market. And for us, traditional stablecoin, fiat-backed stablecoin, has a very single purpose. Is there to provide liquidity pairing and exchanges, OTC, and we feel that fiat-backed stablecoins are, it's like oxygen. I always keep saying that it's oxygen. Without oxygen, a lot of the crypto companies will not be able to survive.
And how do you see the competition between stablecoins and central banks' digital currencies evolving? I mean, this landscape for this kind of competition, how do you see it shifting during 2025?
I see them working hand in hand. CBDCs are very, very regulated, centralized. A lot of them are on private blockchains instead of where we see, for example, FDUSD, our stablecoin, is listed on several different protocols, public chains. We're on Solana, Ethereum, BNB, as well as SUI. So, that gets to really a different marketplace whereby CBDCs are still subject to a lot of KYC, AML compliance. So there's a lot of a little bit more restrictive nature there for CBDCs versus stablecoins.
So putting CBDCs aside, putting yield-bearing stablecoins aside, obviously when we talk about FDUSD, the big elephant in the room in the stablecoin ecosystem is Tether. They're over 140 billion now. USDC is over 45 billion. How do you see the future? How do you position FDUSD? What role do you think it plays in the fast-moving world of stablecoins?
It has a different role, definitely. I think it's very similar in the sense that we are a fiat-backed stablecoin. The functionality of it is the same as Tether and Circle. But for us, I think because we're an Asian-issued stablecoin, there's different banking rails involved. There's also, I think, basically market makers, time of redemption, time of minting is different hours. But the growth of FDUSD, we are always looking at different use cases. Of course, payment is a very important use case for us. That payments, cross-border, remittance, trade settlement. So there, I think that with sort of the strength of our background, being able to use a trust structure, separation of power, basically clients' money and our own money, it's really important that we provide full transparency through proper third-party attestations so that every dollar, every token is backed by a dollar, and that's transparent in marketplace. Users can see that.
Vincent, now that we have a new SEC head, what kind of shifts in regulations do you expect to see?
I think they're going to still continue to go down the road of proper regulation, but I can see them being a little bit more relaxed in the sense that they're going to allow more innovation. Like I said, I use that word because I think that the U.S. regulators have been sort of lopsided in that sense. And with the initiative we know that the Trump wants to bring crypto back to the U.S. He wants to bring all of the big players, back home, according to him. And so in order to do that, you have to give a little, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, and many could argue, actually, his arrival could actually give the U.S. dollar another push from that perspective with stablecoins. And, you mentioned banking rails before, Vincent. I mean, many would argue that the weakest link in the stable ecosystem right now are the banking links. And there's been some actually positive developments in recent days and weeks so that the banks are becoming more welcoming to crypto. To what extent do you believe that is still a big risk in the crypto ecosystem, in particular for stablecoin issuers?
For banking, they have a very strict regulation that they have to comply with, of course, with the executive order that Donald Trump has given on SAB 121, SAP 121, which allows the federal charter banks and a lot of banks to be able to custody crypto now. That's a big step. So, of course, that doesn't take away the fact that they still have to put proper controls in place, proper compliance in place, and treat crypto like any other financial asset. And it's not different than any type of commodity assets that the banks have dealt with in the past, but it's just because of the noise around it. So
we need a change in perspective.
Yes. Yeah. We're getting there. I think we're getting there.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for joining us today at Crypto Weekly. That was Vincent Chok, founder and group CEO of First Digital.
Are your children prepared for the future of money? Order Decoding Crypto with Henri and Hodler, the #1 new release kids book on Amazon.